represents how important water is to this region. Before irrigation came in, it was just dry desert land, and you couldn't really grow too much except dry land wheat.
Yes.
And so once they brought in the irrigation, they're able to have a wide variety of crops, and they all do very well in the Columbia Basin. Drive by a lot of Eastern Oregon, this is kind of what you would see, this dry sagebrush, and then when you turn on the water, as we are doing right now,
Okay.
all of a sudden you see
Oh,
we're able to
neat.
grow
Oh, that's awesome. Wow,
really
you're doing-
high yield crops in a beautiful area with warm days and cool nights. We do have the Columbia River that goes right by us, and so this is a really good representation. If you picture the Columbia River as being a gallon of water, we use half of 1% of the water from the Columbia River towards irrigation purposes, and so that little bit of water does a whole lot of good. And then there's all of these businesses that are located here. And it goes all the way out to the East Beach area, but between all of these different businesses, a lot of them are food processors. You've got freezer warehouse space, there's ethanol production, there is Oregon hay products in Frederickson Farms. A lot of different businesses, and together they provide jobs for over 6,000 people in a town of 3,500 people.
Wow.
So this is a really good showpiece of a a lot of different things that are grown in Eastern Oregon. And so most people are familiar with this top shelf here. They can find those products in the store. But what we're trying to do is take them back to where that raw product began. And so you can see where it's at in the field, ready to be harvested, what it looks like harvested, and then where you can find it in the store. And so this makes connections for a lot of people to really understand where their food starts out. I think one of the biggest misconceptions is that it is still old school agriculture, but there's so many different ways to utilize technology to make things more efficient. And I think that's really what people are interested in. You hear all of these people who come in and they want to know how are farms being sustainable, and I think technology is a big part of that. Reusing and recycling and coming up with new ways to be sustainable, and also to use the resources that you have at your fingertips to make sure that you're getting the most of what you have with using the least amount. And I think that's a big thing for a lot of these big farms through small farms.
Yes. So there it is. It just doesn't end right there. It goes on and on and on, because you have an idea and a dream, and like an apple seed, it's very small, but it continues to grow and bring forth more and more possibilities.